Hey, this is Frank, Illinois Rocks. I'm going to try something different today. So I'm going to try tumbling some Obsidian. So this is the first time I've done it. Obsidian is like a black volcanic glass. I'm sure you've seen it before. I've got some right here. It's kind of interesting in that it's really hard, but it's also very brittle. I looked up the hardness and it's about a 5 to 5.5. So I'm going to try something a little bit different with this and we'll see how it goes. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to go half rock, half ceramic media. I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of 6090 grit. I've slowed down my Coma Stone tumbler a little bit using a different power supply. I don't know if it's right or not, but it's something I'm trying with the ceramic media, and we'll check back in 5 days, just giving it soft, and I'm not really sure what's going to happen. But I've got a nice selection of different sizes, so I'll pick out some good ones. We'll throw it in, and we'll check back on it in 5 days. So as you can see, I've gone really heavy on the ceramic. We're going to go ahead and enter our water until we get to about the bottom of the ceramics, kind of just touching the bottom of the rocks. I read this can actually produce quite a bit of gas, so like a little trick I read somewhere is you can throw in a Tums. And then I'm going to throw in my grit, and we'll put it on the tumbler, and then we'll check back. All right, it's been in here for 5 days, the Obsidian, and so we got quite a bit of foam here. So let's see what kind of grindage we had in 5 days here. I'm going to clean these up, and then we'll check them out. Alright, so from what we can see here, we definitely did get some wear, but we also didn't use through all our grit in 5 days. I was a little bit concerned, just because I was worried that this was kind of soft. So I'm actually going to switch over to 7 days, throw this all back in, maybe use a little bit less grit, and we will check it again in a week and see how it's going. Thank you. It has been another week, and we're checking back in on that Obsidian. We can see a lot of these, they have made some progress, but they still have a ways to go. There's really just one piece that I think I'm going to set aside for stage 2, which is this one up here. It's not super rounded, but it doesn't have any big noticeable scratches in it or anything. Everything else I'm going to give some more time. I'm going to try it with a little bit less media in there, a little harsher on it, but maybe that'll be what it needs. And I'm just going to keep going. I've got a whole bucket of this, and we'll check back in once we have enough to get into step 2. So it'll probably be a couple months. Thank you. Welcome back. It has been many weeks. We're in mid-June, and this is the Obsidian that I'm going to work on now. I have a little bit more. We started with 3 pounds. This is about 10 ounces that I weighed out. I want to add it in with a lot of cushioning and started it on step 2 with a lot of media and some 180, I believe it's 220 grit. So let's get that set up. Alright, so we're going to fill it up with water, like we normally would, just to kind of cover everything up. And then we're going to use that grit that I showed you before. That was from a kit. I had some newer stuff, but we might as well use up what we have. So it's going to go in with 3 tablespoons of this step 2 here. I have some newer stuff from Rock Shed, but we're going to use this up first. Also 1 tablespoon of borax. Then we're going to let it tumble for, I don't know, 7 to 10 days, and then we'll check back up on it. Alright, we'll see you soon. Hey, welcome back, and happy Father's Day. That's where we are now. Middle of June. The Obsidian should be done with stage 2, so let's check it out. Alright, so here's how everything is looking after a little over a week in stage 2. We did have this one here. Here's a little scratch in it. So I actually have enough for another batch of these, so I'm just going to leave them for the next time around. I'm going to move all this into a 5000 pre-polish for a week, and we'll check on it then. The Obsidian here is now out of its first pre-polish stage, which was a 500 grit. So I don't really think it's necessary, but I'm going to run it through 1000 because I have it, and I don't think it'll hurt. And well, this is kind of softer, and I want it to really get that nice glassy shine. But first things first, I'm going to run this through some borax a couple times and then we'll go ahead and we'll fill it up with that 1,000 and let it run for about a week. All right, this came out looking really good after its borax bath here. So we have this 1,000 grit here. Really only need it on the softer stones. We're gonna give it a try. 3 tablespoons, see how it works out, and put it in for another week before we go into the final polish. Okay, that 1,000 grit should be done on the Obsidian. So I'm gonna clean it off. We'll take a look at it and see where we go next. Overall, we're looking really good here. This is wet, obviously. We did have one casualty. This piece up here got a little nick in it. I still, after all this time, have some going in stage 1. So next week, I'm just gonna throw it back in there. So we'll set that aside. I'm gonna give this a couple washes in borax, and later in the day, we will add the final polish in there, and we'll get it going for that last 2-week push. All right, we've gotten our borax bath in. We're gonna go ahead and add the water, just like every other time. All right, one of my clips didn't record, but just wanted to say after the borax bath and adding the water, I'm using 8,000 polish from the Rock Shed. It's aluminum oxide. I also have some from Kingsley. They call it micro alumina. I haven't tried it yet. Once I run out of the Rock Shed stuff, I will give that a shot. We will see how it goes. All right, it's been just about 2 weeks. Tomorrow would be 2 weeks, but I'm really curious to see how it's coming. So we're gonna take the Obsidian out now. All right, this has been in the 8,000 aluminum oxide for just under 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and see what we got. I'm gonna give this a good rinse and take a look at it. It's gonna need a lot of cleaning. So let's take a look. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited how it's looking right now. I see one little nick on one of them, but here, I'll show you what they look like. So obviously they're still wet, but they should look like this dry too. One, like I said, got a little nick on it, but I'm gonna go ahead and put them back in the barrel, put the media back in, and we're gonna add some borax, and I'm actually gonna wash them twice in the borax. All right, I hope you can hear me okay. It's kind of noisy here. We're gonna go ahead, fill this up with some water. I'm gonna do about 2 scoops of borax here. And really the point of this is there's gonna be a lot of polish just hanging out in there, and we wanna clean it up. I'm gonna let this run for a couple hours, dump it out, do it again, dump it out. We're gonna put some ivory in that, and then we'll let the ivory run overnight, and it's really quite shocking how much extra just garbage comes out of it. Hopefully tomorrow this is all looking beautiful. All right, these have dried overnight, and let's just take a look at how wonderful they look. Like, I couldn't be more pleased. So looking down at these here, I mean, we got just like a wonderful, wonderful shine. We got no bruising. I mean, these are like glass. So I don't know if we needed that extra step of the 1,000 grit, but I mean, they look wonderful. Same token, I have more of these that have been running basically what seems like forever. I have a couple scratches that don't want to go away, so not sure what's going on there. But you know what, if you follow along, thanks for being with me through all of this. And you know, please subscribe to my shorts. That's where most of my content is. You'll see like the weeklies. You know, I'm working on some petrified wood right now and a bunch of other things. So again, please like and subscribe, and thanks for following us along this journey.